Welcome to Tenacious Entrepreneurs, where perseverance meets purpose and every setback is just another step forward. Join us as we dive into the journeys of entrepreneurs who faced failures, embraced change, and emerged stronger than ever. Whether you're dreaming big or already on your way, this podcast is here to remind you that the end is only the beginning. Stay inspired, stay tenacious, and let's conquer the entrepreneurial world together.
Well, welcome back to Tenacious Entrepreneur Podcast. Today we've got a special guest here in the house is Kevin Kitchen. So anyway, so you grew up, you went to college, you started your business. Tell me about the entrepreneurs. Like, have you found that everybody's educated on your master's in business? I mean, like, right. Have you found like that they're all educated in that side of it? Do they understand it? What did having your master's degree and your being a CPA bring to the table?
Yeah. So I can analyze the numbers. I can take them, put them together. We can compile financial statements for you. We can look at them. But then I can also give you a holistic look at the business, right? I can tell you what the numbers say, but I can also tell you, hey, look, your management style might need a little tweaking here or there. Maybe your payroll, you're looking at hiring the wrong type of person, that kind of thing. So I can really kind of counsel the whole business, right? Rather than
so do you
just
have a
the
consulting
numbers.
side of your business, or do you just do?
I do have a consulting side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can help out the businesses with.
But I'm saying, do you approach people as a consultant?
I usually approach them through the accounting.
Okay, through the accounting. Okay.
Yeah, because I am more comfortable in that arena, but still, I can offer that services of the taking care of the whole thing.
Yeah, it's giving them ideas of like, hey, you probably need to cut this or do that.
Yeah.
I know there's all kinds of new laws with Trump in office and everything now.
Yeah, that big, beautiful bill he passed.
That was a big bunch of stuff.
That is a big bill.
So have you broken it apart? Have you figured it out?
I have taken a look at it. I've read through it, kind of skimmed it.
Do you use AI any?
I would like to use AI more than I use right now.
So I'm a big AI guy. I use ChatGPT. I use Grok just came out. That's Elon Musk version. And it's funny. I pit them against each other.
Right.
And be like, hey, Grok told me this. What do you think? And it acts like the other woman.
Yeah,
it's like, well, if Grok said it, maybe you should go ask Grok.
Right.
But it's a great idea, man, to take the big, beautiful bill, upload it into ChatGPT, and tell it, hey, this is my background. I'm a CPA. I'm a consultant. I help small businesses. What are some things out of this that I need to tell my small business people?
Yeah.
And you'd be shocked.
Yeah.
Like it'll bring out all kinds of stuff that you never would have. Because I mean, it's like 4,000 pages.
Yeah, it is.
It's like
way too much to read.
It's too much to read, man. It's like it's a
unless
lot.
you have insomnia one night, right? Then just pick it up, start leafing through it.
Yeah, it's a lot. I just actually one of my employees went to work. He's going back to work for his dad. But one of the things he said was like, hey, now that they've passed it to where I don't have to pay any taxes on overtime.
Right.
He's like, I'm going to be able to work overtime with my dad, and I'm not going to be able to.
Okay,
I'm not going to have to tax it.
Good.
And so that's kind of thing. Like how do you approach that from a business consultant side of things to a small business owner? Let's say I'm a small business owner.
Yeah. Okay.
And how do you approach it to me, saying how do you handle the actual taxes for your employees now that some of them are. So, I mean, how does it work?
So what I do is I try to take the pain points away from my entrepreneurs.
Okay.
What keeps them up at night, right?
IRS and the state. Yeah.
One of the big things that keeps them up at night is I'm paying them too much. I'm paying the IRS too much. I'm paying state of Louisiana too much. I'm paying too much in this tax, that tax, the other tax. Let's sit down and talk about it. Let's sit down and look at where we can pay the IRS the legal minimum that we need to pay by law, right?
Yeah, work smart, not hard.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess what I'm wondering is like, okay, so let's say I have 10 employees, and the way I've been doing, payroll tax is just the dollar amount I sent to them is $1,826, and I multiply this times this. This is my FICA. This is my, all this stuff. Like how now? Fortunately, I guess knock on wood, I have contract labor now, so I don't have a lot of that I deal with.
Good.
But I'm wondering, like how do you how do you figure it now? Like, because it's not just the number, the $1,800. You have to say, oh, how much of this was overtime? And
Right. Okay. So first off, the big beautiful bill says the industry you're working at, it has to be customary where you receive overtime. That's the first hurdle you have to get to.
okay, so what does that mean?
So it means things like waiters, waitresses, baristas.
They don't get overtime.
Overtime. That's overtime and tips, kind of the
tips.
same thing.
Okay, so
I
it's
was
the same
thinking
thing.
tips. You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I was thinking tips. So overtime, it's the same thing. Do you generally get overtime? Right. Again, same thing would be applied
Yeah, if
there.
you get
Waiters,
5 hours
wait-
a month or a week or whatever.
But if you're a what's that? An exempt? If you're
Yeah.
an exempt position, and all of a sudden you receive overtime starting this year, you're going to raise a red flag with that.
Yeah, because you've been on salary all this time.
Correct.
Now
Correct.
now you're getting
Right.
$200 salary in overtime
Exactly.
instead of $1,000 salary.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, so they'll
that's
catch
the
it.
first hurdle to start with. The second is there's an income threshold. If your W-2 says 150,000 or more, then they're going to disallow that no tax on your overtime.
Okay.
Okay.
So that means that the guys that are working in the plants and the guys that are iron workers and stuff, they're not going to be getting that overtime.
Correct.
Really,
Tax free.
yeah, tax free.
Correct. Yeah.
They'll have to pay for it. Okay. So that's got to be hard to navigate as a bookkeeper. Like,
It's going to be difficult to navigate. Yeah.
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 So they did give you a 20% increase in what they pay you though, right?
Right. Yeah, good one, right? Yeah. Right. Yeah, sure. But there's going to be another box on the W-2 that's
Okay.
going to list how much of your first box one, which is your total compensation, how much of box one is overtime, right? Because then you'll look at and then you say, look, the total W-2 says 200. There's 50,000 in overtime. You were over the threshold at 150 when I back out the overtime. So none of it's going to be.
So, but if I made
tax-free.
$200,000 and I had $51,000 worth of overtime,
Yeah, we'd have $1,000 of tax-free overtime. Tax-free overtime.
okay.
Yeah.
So so it wouldn't be the 51,000. It
Right,
would
it would be the one.
It'd be the one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So it's definitely complicated. I'm just trying to wrap my brain around it because I know. So I have one of my relatives. It's actually a niece. She's in Baltimore, but
Right.
she went in as a accountant working for a firm that what they do is they do forensic accounting, where they go in and they'll take your previous tax returns apart, and then you pay them like 5% of whatever or 10% or whatever they actually save you by
Yes.
going through and
Okay.
figuring out
Yes.
you didn't take
You didn't
this
take this deduction. So right. Yeah.
for instance, like I know I have a guy here in New Orleans that I deal with that he takes apart buildings and then itemizes everything down to the tile and the paint.
That's
and
a big help when it comes to depreciation.
right. He
Yeah.
does the accelerated depreciation, and I know that's something that that
Yeah,
is-
the building, the roof, the studs, the walls are depreciated. Usually, a commercial property, 39 years.
Right.
That's a long time.
right.
So
If you can
smart,
accelerate it,
so smart guys got together and say, wait, I'm paying for the whole thing. Include some fixtures in here. Include some equipment over there. Let's crack all this apart like your friend does. And
Right.
says, okay, with this, the equipment that we bought, we can depreciate like this.
So have you ever like referred your clients to people like that?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
about 3 or 4 times I have.
Okay,
And it's
so who do
worked
you
out
use?
really well. There's a place in Baton Rouge, CRI maybe?
Okay. Yeah, I got a guy here in New Orleans. I'll give you his
Okay,
contact
good,
info. He's in the
good.
trade group.
Yeah,
But
excellent.
yeah, he does that for us. He's done it for a couple of people. So
Yeah.
I think it's super interesting, man. Like staying on top of the law, staying on top of what's right, and then I think from the consulting side of things is teaching people how to hire differently.
Right.
Like, okay, now this position is no longer going to be a $1,000 a week position. This position is a $500 a week position plus overtime.
Yeah. Exactly. Yep.
And so the benefit to them, the problem is the blue collar worker, just a typical average guy, doesn't get it. He just
No,
he
that's-
looks at his paycheck and what did I take
Right.
home?
Exactly, yeah.
He doesn't understand it.
Not until April of next year. Yeah.
When his tax return
Exactly.
is a lot
yeah.
bigger.
Yeah. Why is my refund this big, or why am I paying this much more, or something like that?
Yeah. I think that's going to be an interesting pivot, man. the guys that I deal with are the ones that pay people. You know,
Right.
and
Yeah.
I'm not dealing with the employees, but most of the guys I consult for and do stuff with, we're scrambling to try to figure out how to best pivot.
Yeah.
Through the big beautiful
Yep.
bill.
Yeah.
To make it work. Have you heard the rumor? I mean, of course, this came out of Trump's lips, but he said that he was considering abolishing taxes altogether.
Yeah, I did hear that.
He fired
I did hear-
18,000
yeah.
IRS agents.
So I did hear that.
Did you hear that he fired 18,000 IRS
I did,
agents?
yeah, I can tell when I talk to him on the phone how long I have to wait for and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did.
Do you think there's
Yeah.
any validity to that? I mean, are we?
Oh, I guarantee it. You call him up and they say, well, he's not here anymore. He's been furloughed. He's been
Well, I guess what I'm saying is
released.
that so the last person that spoke about abolishing the IRS got assassinated.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm just saying JFK. He talked about abolishing the IRS, and within 6 months
He was
he was assassinated. And now we found out that it was actually by the CIA that
Correct.
actually came out and did it. So I'm just wondering, like, people are mistaken, I think, to think that the people you've elected in office actually run the government.
Right.
This is a business.
Yeah.
It's not run
Correct.
by the people you
Correct.
elected. That's
Correct.
just the CEO and the CFO.
Yeah.
The owners of the country
Yeah.
are the Rockefellers and the guys that
the
actually
guys
have
pulling the
money
strings.
that actually
Yeah.
make the decisions for what's happening. And I feel like those guys are not going to let the purse strings draw close.
They are not. I think they're just going to shift to something because you're always going to have a collection department, right? There's always going to have to be some kind of tax. The government's got to make some money somewhere.
I mean, it'd be great if they shifted
Right.
it to tariffs.
Yes.
And focused on the
That'd
tariffs.
be great. That'd
Hey,
be great.
Do you have a knowledge of that, like the tariffs and like
just
how,
just a surface knowledge of
Okay.
tariffs. Yeah.
So I feel like the tariffs are. I get questioned all the time, like, "Hey, man, everything's going up because of tariffs," and so I own a mobile TV truck company. We do TV trucks and
Right.
and stuff like that, and every component in my truck is from China.
made in China, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
literally, like everything is made in China, and so we're starting to see shortages of like LED components and stuff like that because the people are. You got to understand, like we're paying $6 for a LED little component. That price went to $36.
Wow. Wow.
And
Just about
I've got-
overnight.
I've got 2,000 of them on my truck.
Right.
So
Yeah.
like
It's-
it becomes a thing where I am starting to feel a little bit of the pinch.
Yeah.
From the tariffs, as far as that goes. But what I've done is I've shifted. I've hired somebody that they literally just went in and found American made.
Yeah.
I
Good.
said, look, I
Good.
told the guy, I said, look, I'm going to pay you 10% of
yeah.
whatever you get me.
Save me. Yeah.
And you're saving me this money. I'm paying $36 for this.
Right.
And he found it for $10
Good.
at an American-made company.
Good.
And I wouldn't have even searched.
Right. And I think that's what Trump's trying to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have even searched that
Right.
had it
Correct.
not. Like
Correct.
I think that's what he's doing. He's like, hey, let's put the pain point on you.
Exactly. Yeah.
And entrepreneurs
that's
by
right.
nature are going to
They'll
find
a way around
it.
Yes.
They're gonna figure
Correct.
it out.
Yep.
I remember whenever Trump was in debates and they were criticizing him for you only paid $8,000 in taxes last year or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I remember that was whenever I shifted. Like I wasn't sure if I was going to vote for him or not.
Right.
But whenever he turned around and he said, "Look, I didn't create the laws. I just hired people that knew how to take advantage of the laws."
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah.
it showed me two things. One, I fired my CPA that day because I just paid like $280,000 in taxes.
Right.
And I was
Right.
like, dude, I ain't paying that much in taxes ever again. But give me somebody else that can give me a better answer. Like 1 + 1 has to be, what do you want it to be?
Exactly. What do you? I got an eraser right here. I can make it whatever.
1 + 1 is what?
Yeah,
What do you need? Yeah. I remember telling my CPA, I said, look, I need you to do everything at the edge. I don't want you going to jail, and I'm not going to jail.
Right.
But I need you to do
Correct.
everything you can to save me money.
Correct.
And don't come back to me with, well, it was too aggressive.
Right.
And I went through an audit back, 2009 or so, because I had a company that, my tax attorney came to me with this idea that they had a company offshore that you can invest in that was they were basically they're debt collectors for bad credit card debt.
Right.
And so
Okay.
you're buying the bad credit card debt.
Yeah.
But you
Okay.
buy it at 5 cents on the dollar.
Right.
And you could write it off at 100%. There was
Yeah,
a
you
loophole.
can. Yeah.
And so I was buying it for 5 cents, and I was writing off that year I'd made like $3 million.
Okay.
And I bought like $300,000 worth of,
Yeah.
worth of bad debt. And I thought everything was great. And then we got audited. And they said it took them, I think, 5 years to do their strategic tearing apart. Because it wasn't just me. It was
Right.
hundreds and hundreds of people are in it. And it was, I come to find out like it was a political hunt, because there was, there was guys that were, senators and stuff like that had actually participated
Up
in
in
it.
there also. Yeah.
So it got disallowed, and they came back, and it was a big, it was scary. But it's I still deal with stuff from it. Like knock on wood, I'm safe. But
they use intimidation.
oh yeah,
They do.
Yeah.
They like to use it too.
yeah,
As a matter
yeah.
of
It's
fact.
definitely
Yeah.
is a scary thing when you're dealing with the IRS. Like it's scary. Like, because I explained to them, I remember I was in court. I had to go to court over it, and I was in court, and I said, guys, that's my tax attorney.
Right.
I pay him for a reason.
Right.
He told me
that this
to-
would be
this
okay.
would be something
Yeah.
I should do,
Yeah.
and my CPA, I gave it to him, and the CPA said, hey, this sounds great.
Tax attorney signed off on it.
Yeah, I said tax
Yep.
attorney signed off on it. He signed off on it. So is there a legal way to do that still? Like that won't get audited?
No, that won't get audited.
Yeah, they won't get. Well, I don't care about getting audited, but
Right.
I'm saying like they won't be disallowed.
That'll pass through
That'll
an
pass
audit
through
with
an audit.
no
Like
change.
this
yeah.
thing, I did my research. It had been audited 18 times. Whenever I did it,
Right.
and I was like, okay, it's been audited 18 times and proven
And proven
right.
yeah. The way you did it is the way I would recommend.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's.
Yeah.
I mean, you did your homework. It seems like the tax attorney may have.
I think he skirted. He probably got a cut.
Okay.
I'm not. I don't want to say anything bad against
dropped the nickel on you, huh?
tax attorney, but I think
Yeah.
he got a cut of the
Right.
of the what I was investing.
Right. Okay.
Like, hey, it
Okay,
costs 5 cents, not 2.
Gotcha, yeah.
I think maybe I don't know. The thing I thought when I got through that was like, okay, so there is a legitimate way to do this,
Right.
because they explained it to me while I was in it. They said, well, because you haven't collected more than 10% of the revenue, you've just written it all off. You
It
haven't
looks
actually
like you
hired.
didn't have a business.
He said you haven't hired people to actually go out and collect it,
Right.
and so therefore, you're not truly a company.
No business purpose. so
Yeah,
to
you're not
speak.
truly a
Yeah.
company that's
Okay.
trying to collect. You're
Right.
just a
Looking
tax
for a
shelter.
write-off, yeah.
Yeah, you're just
Okay.
a tax shelter
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
And so what it made me think about out of that was like, man, somebody ought to start a company.
Right.
And maybe they have like a legitimate company that like, can you invest in companies like that? It's like legitimate.
As far as I know,
tax
yeah,
strategy?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, there are certain like publicly traded partnerships you can invest in with the specific purpose to make your taxes look better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to talk about that off air. I'd like to find out more about that, man.
right.
That would be
Yeah.
great. I found out, I remember the first time I actually had made a significant amount of money. And I remember when I sat down with the CPA to go over and everything, that was when I figured out that the IRS is my business partner.
And they get paid first.
They get paid
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, they
They
do.
get paid 30% off of the,
Yep.
at that time it was 35%, but 35% off the top.
Yep, absolutely.
And I was like, can I switch roles? Like I'll go sit in the office
Right.
and let them go to work. And
Yeah, exactly.
how do I
yeah.
get that role,
Yeah,
man? I want to
yeah,
be the guy that
exactly.
gets 35%.
Yeah, they get paid first. They're your silent business partner.
Yeah.
And what do you get for that?
Yeah, we need to stop. We've carried on too long, and there's probably like some kind of
Right.
sound bite that's listening out there to us. We'll stop talking about it.
Yeah.
We won't say that.
Yeah.
I always say that it's definitely the concern for small business owners.
Correct.
Is like, hey, Uncle Sam was not a problem. It's Aunt Iris, dude, that gets you.
That Aunt Iris.
Aunt Iris, dude,
Aunt-
she's the one that
yeah,
like
she's-
she'll get you
she-
shaking your boots.
takes no
'Cause,
prisoners.
Yeah, she takes no prisoners. So I mean, if they did away with it,
Yeah.
I just felt like, man, that would be so the thing I told I was in a coaching group, and we were talking about it, like, is it going to happen? Could it happen?
Right.
And I said, look, Trump didn't come into office because he was, needing to make money.
Right.
Like a lot
Yeah.
of people, Nancy Pelosi
Exactly,
came
yeah.
in the office at $240,000 and she's got 30 million
Yeah.
now. So like some people came in office to make money.
Right.
He didn't come in office to make money. He actually, if anything, he lost money.
Correct.
By coming in
Yep.
office.
Yeah.
And so there's only two things that motivate people: money and power.
Right.
And so he came in to make a legacy, to have
Yeah, he
a
did.
power move,
Yes.
to be able to have a legacy. And I think there's no bigger legacy than be that I'm the one that abolished the IRS.
IRS, yeah.
Like if he was able to do that, oh my gosh, dude, I think that would be
He-
like a feather in his
like
hat
you said,
forever.
hell of a legacy there.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, dude!
Yeah.
I think I'd create the $15 bill and just put his face on it.
Yeah, a little bit of pushback on that, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. But I'm just saying, it's like
Right.
I think that like nobody would be able
Right.
to argue, like if they like, hey, he increased tariffs and he took that, and this isn't a Trump show. I'm not trying to to be the everybody's got a different political vote, and
Right.
I understand. I try not to talk a ton about it, but I just feel like that it's the current situation for entrepreneurs. It's like we're trying to figure out how to. I remember like back in the day, they came out with a law that said that if you had a piece of a vehicle that was over 10,000 or 20,000 pounds or whatever,
6,000 pounds.
6,000 pounds,
Yeah, 6,000 pounds.
that you could write the thing off the whole thing.
Yeah, because
so-
they consider that a piece of farm equipment.
Yeah, I went and bought a $50,000 excursion,
Right.
and wrote the whole thing off that
yeah.
year. So technically, I only paid take 30% out of that.
Correct. Yeah.
I saved $20,000 almost out of that. So I mean, is there something in the big beautiful bill that has that kind of stuff?
That's still around, that 6,000 pound vehicle.
But is there
exclusion.
anything else like that in the big beautiful bill that you found?
There's some depreciation advantages that you can take that's in the bill there. Haven't worked my way through that part yet, but I just did a.
I know you didn't know that you were going to be on the show that we're going to be talking about.
That's right.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
But-
It's interesting to me.
Yeah, it's what makes headlines right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's in the big beautiful bill?
Yeah.
And I did look at it. I know that there are certain depreciation advantages we could take advantage of. Yeah, and do that. Yeah, it's going to be. So we have a tax conference every year, CPAs, and it's always at the downtown New Orleans for Louisiana CPAs. And this year I expect a high turnout, and we get in there. One of the courses is that, hey, how do we go about planning now? Now that this thing is,
I get asked all the time because I started Secure Trade like I don't know 12, 14 years ago, something like that, and we have multiple high profile charities
Right.
in our network that accept trade dollars and it's a legitimate thing that they can donate the trade dollars
Right.
In order to get the write off. And I tell guys all the time, like, man, if you own a restaurant and your food cost is 20% and your total all in is 40%
Right.
with labor and everything,
Yep.
then there is no reason why you should carry any money at the end of the year. You should donate it all.
Right.
Like basically it's a wash for you, and then you get the tax write off on your
You should.
and you actually get a full tax write off on it. So I mean, to me, like I feel like have you dealt a lot with? I mean, you're in the trade group. You're in the our
Yes.
trade group, right?
Yes, I am.
So I mean, have you dealt a lot with people that like don't know how to handle the trade as far as how to report it, and because we give a 1099-B.
Right. Yeah, a lot of people, that spurns a lot of business for me. Hey, I got this 1099, what do I do with it? Right.
Right.
Yeah,
Because they're not used to it because
Right. Exactly.
they got
I've
this.
always got W-2s in the past. Now I've got this 1099. So we sit down and we figure out how it fits into their current tax situation, how we can minimize any tax liability that we have down to that legal minimum.
Yeah.
Is what we do. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like what I tell people is that number one, like they pay a 10% transaction fee whenever they process a transaction through our system. I tell them that is a bank fee.
Right. Absolutely
Or
it is.
or
Yes.
you can call it a referral fee.
Yep.
If you want it, either one.
Commission, yeah.
Commission paid to a
Yeah.
referral
Yep.
agent.
Yep.
However you want to record it. But I tell people like you record that as that. But then I tell them, look, we created a ledger on purpose. I actually created off of the Chase Bank.
Right.
So I created the back end ledger system that it was a lot of extra money to put those little numbers on each one of the receipts that actually gives you an accounted
Right.
receipt
Yeah.
for every single transaction.
Good.
But I tell people, man, like if you're not giving that statement to your CPA
Right.
and telling them treat this like a checking account.
Correct. Correct.
So that it should
Yeah,
be
it's just-
the 10% is written off of the checking account expense.
Correct.
If I went out
It
to
is.
eat and it was a networking opportunity, then it was a networking event.
Absolutely, it is.
So what's going on with that? Like I know that there's like some loopholes on the networking side of things, right?
Yes. So 50% of our meals are deductible.
Okay.
So
50%. So
50%. So if you and I go out to dinner and we talk business, 50% of that meal would be deductible. The other
Okay.
50% is not.
Okay.
They do that to try to dissuade you from doing that very
I know
often.
they talked about in the big beautiful
Yeah.
bill that they were talking about making it 100%. Is that
I didn't see anything.
You didn't see? Okay.
Did not see anything.
I'll have to
like
ask
that.
Chad when we get offline.
Yeah.
I'll say, Chatty, do you, ask it. But I'd be
meals.
curious to find out, like,
Yeah.
if that's something that's been enacted,
Right.
because I know for me, most of the time I'm entertaining clients
Right.
and stuff like that. So that's a
yeah, as far as I know, it's still 50%. They didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't mess around with that one.
yeah, it makes sense, man. So I can tell you, like, the hardest person for me to get to join the trade association is a CPA.
We're skeptical by nature.
By nature, like
nature,
that's what I'm saying. Like you have a natural
skepticism to everything.
everything.
Don't take it personally, Joe.
Yeah, no,
It's
I
just-
don't. I've managed to navigate through it and figure out how to make it work. But but to me, like I think that's something that I probably would pull on from you.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
when somebody has that question that their CPA wants to talk to a CPA. It'd be great to. I've just met you, so
Right. In business school, we're taught trust but verify.
That's Ronald Reagan, man.
It is. That's it too. But they used it. They said, trust
Yeah.
but verify. Hey, I trust you, but I also want to see.
Yeah. So I would love to have you as somebody that I can pull on whenever that happens.
Absolutely.
I get
Give me a call
I had it last
anytime.
week. Somebody was asking me. I was like, hey, how do we do this? And I explained to him. I was like, do you have somebody with a CPA that?
Right.
Like, I was like,
Now you do. Absolutely.
yeah. Now I got somebody I can actually give them
yeah,
and say this
absolutely,
is somebody.
yes.
Have you ever considered doing like the forensic accounting, like where you go in
At
and like?
one of my stops, I did some forensic accounting.
Okay.
Yeah, at one of my stops at a public accounting firm.
Yeah,
I
but I'm
did
saying
some-
like where you do it like on the percentage
Oh,
of
no,
amount saved.
not on the percentage. No.
Yeah, I
No,
think that would be like a.
Up until maybe about a year ago, the state board disallowed that. as
Oh,
a matter
really?
For CPAs. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They'd say, I can't prepare a tax return and say, hey, look, I saved you $10,000. My fee is 40% of that. Now you owe me $4,000.
So this company she works for is, I mean, they're out of Maryland, but they're an
Right.
old company.
They
make billions. I mean,
Maryland may have their own state board rules.
okay.
Yeah.
So, but can you do it now?
I believe I can do it now. I'm not sure about that though. I kind of stayed away from it because state boards told me all the way up until a couple years ago that I could not.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That'd be interesting if you can.
Yeah, because
Because
they
that-
don't want you to kind of play
It's a-
around with the numbers and stuff like
Well, no,
that
to
to
me,
make
it
your
goes-
fee higher.
To me, it goes twofold because if I can go into a large, you wouldn't want to necessarily do it for mom and pop, but you can.
Right.
But I mean, obviously your target is going to be IBM and
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
the bigger companies. But what I feel like is that you should be able to go in there and find the savings. But then if you find the savings, they probably want to switch to you as a CPA.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, well, you found me $30,000 in savings.
Yeah.
Okay, here's your little $12,000 check or whatever.
Right.
But but by the way,
See you next year.
see you next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it would also be a smart idea to even offer it on your clients.
Right.
In other words,
Yeah.
hey, we're so
So-
sure that our stuff's going to work. We hire a forensic auditor that
Correct.
will
To
come
take
in
a
and
look
audit
at it and say, hey.
and then correct me if I'm wrong because I'm not infallible. I'm not God. I mean, I could make a mistake.
Right.
But do you do that? I mean,
I do not offer that service.
Yeah.
It's a good idea, though. I
Yeah.
do like it. I do use a tagline for my business is that my services don't cost, they save. So, So it's kind of in the same vein.
Yeah, I feel like it's one thing to say that. It's
Yeah.
another thing to put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah,
Like if I had a
true.
CPA that said, hey, we're going to audit ourselves.
Right.
And so we're hiring a forensic audit team to audit me on what I did for you.
Yeah.
And if you ever came back to me with, I don't care if you came back to me with $1,000.
Exactly.
And said,
Yeah.
hey, I found you $1,000.
Happy, yeah.
I would you'd be my CPA for life. You know what I'm saying? I would never switch.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? Because
exactly.
dude, he's looking out for me. Like, he's not just arrogant.
Yeah.
How dare you question me?
Yeah, there's a lot of us that their whole practice is they just fill out forms.
Yeah.
Right. I like to get into the numbers and say, hey, we can save a little bit more in taxes doing this. We can save a little bit in that. I just don't put it form in front of the client and say, hey, that's what you owe right
Have
there.
you ever dealt with trust?
A few of them, yes.
So I've been looking at that a lot lately. Like I follow a lot of guys that have the trust and everything, and obviously Louisiana's not the place that they get them. Most of the time they get them in Las Vegas and
correct.
different places like that because
Delaware.
Delaware. They're places that people don't go through the veil to see it. But that would be something interesting if you ever got into doing trust. I'd love to find out more about it. I know moving your money into the trust protects it.
And your home too, moving your home. I've heard of
your assets,
family real estate trust. And stuff.
So my dad passed like 3-4 years ago, and he had like 18 rent houses and all this stuff, and that was the thing that made me start thinking about, like, man, I don't want to put this on my kids.
Correct.
Whenever I die, I want to make sure that, like, I had to go in and assess every house and figure out what it was worth and what was the damages and how do we repair stuff, and it was just a lot. It was a full-time job for a year until I finally sold them all at auction.
Right.
And said, okay, that's the end of that era. But I feel like if I would have had a trust, I would have approached it differently.
Yes.
I would have approached it like a business instead of like a burden.
Right.
I mean, it was money.
Well, and you would have had the trustee there to help you out and kind of guide you and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's a smart thing, is to figure out that for entrepreneurs, I'd say, like, I feel like that there's different levels of entrepreneurs. There's business owners.
Yep.
And then there's entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs usually have 5 or 6 businesses.
Yeah.
They figure out how to find a need and fill a need pretty quick. They know how to delegate. And those are the guys I think that would benefit from somebody having knowledge that could actually give them direction and be like, hey, you need to buy this hospital in Delaware.
Right.
And then we're going to form a trust around it, and we're going to do this or whatever.
Right.
Just be creative.
Yeah.
I guess the creative side of it is what I feel like has been lost in the CPAs forever.
We're not the most Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right about that.
Yeah.
I do agree.
I felt like that it was more of a person that could tell me no.
Right.
Their first statement was, no, you can't do that. And I'd be like, okay, why? Like, But, just because I said it, it's not a good idea. Like, okay, but why?
We usually stick to the 4 or 5 tax planning strategies and don't venture off of that very, very much.
Yeah.
For my firm, those 4 or 5 really fit like 98% of my clients.
Yeah.
So that's what I do.
Well, that's tremendous, man. That's tremendous. I feel like in closing, I would just say my biggest concern over what's happening in the tariffs and the tax bills and everything is the whiplash that's going to happen if Trump gets pushed out of office or the next 4 years somebody else gets. Of course, I don't know if it's going to be a Democrat. They look like a freak show right now.
I don't care for either bench right now.
Yeah. I'm just saying, it's like I don't know if it's going to be an independent or what. But I feel like if somebody else comes in and tries to unravel it, there's not a lot of protection.
No, none really.
Yeah,
no,
There's no protection to stop it from being unraveled. So I think that's the big concern, man. Is like death and taxes.
Yeah,
they're always going to be there, man.
Yeah, constant.
So for the entrepreneur that's out there, this contemplating, he just has a bookkeeper. Like, what would you tell him the reason why he needs a CPA versus just a bookkeeper?
Great question. He needs that CPA because I can hire AI to do your books, okay? But somebody needs to analyze them. Somebody needs to say, okay, we're doing well here, we're not doing well there. This is what we need to focus more on. We need to divest ourselves of this, and let's take it one step further, and this is how we make it save our tax bill too.
Yeah, I used to require my CPA every month to sit down and tell me, like, what do I need to do?
Yeah.
Like, what, I just made $180,000 from selling this piece of land. What do I need to do with it? And that's when I figured out about 1031 exchanges, and I learned all this stuff because, but I never had a CPA that would actually sit me down and say, this is what you need to do. I always had to call him and be like, hey, come to my office.
I'm proactive with, there's a bunch of my monthly clients that I'm really proactive with.
Yeah, where you actually leading them, directing them.
We have lunch on a monthly basis. And say, hey, look.
And to me, I mean, it's great to have lunch and have fellowship, but I think it's different. Like, I think like people that are not entrepreneurs, that are just business owners, they get offended.
Right.
If you tell them, hey, you should do this or you should do that. Guys that are entrepreneurs, that see the value of it.
Say, let's do it. Let's go.
I need somebody to be ugly to me.
Right.
I need somebody to say, hey, you can't keep spending that money that way. Like, you're spending it on this, and you need to spend it this way. Like, go through this account.
I just had a rein in a client the other week.
Just it's a tough call.
Expanding too quickly. And I'm like, we need to pump the brakes here. You know? We need to walk before we can run, so to speak. Yeah.
Well, and then giving them matrix to say, hey, when you have this much money in this account, it's safe for you to expand to here.
Correct.
And I wish that I would have had that, because I didn't have that. I had a lot of failures in my life because I didn't have anybody to tell me no. And so I put people around me that could tell me no, and one of them was a CPA.
Good.
Good to have this time with you, brother.
Loved it. Enjoyed it a lot.
I appreciate your time. Thanks so much.
Yep. All right. Thanks.
That's it for this episode of The Tenacious Entrepreneur. Thanks for tuning in and being part of this journey. Are you an entrepreneur with a tenacious story? We want to hear from you. Visit our website, tenaciousentrepreneur.com, and click on the Tell My Story link. If you got something valuable from today's episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with a fellow entrepreneur. Keep pushing forward, and remember, the end is only the beginning. A new episode drops every Wednesday at 7:14 a.m. Until then, remember to stay humble, stay focused, and be tenacious.